Good morning. Today I'll be talking about finding your workaround. So, this is a follow up from episode 45 on the 9 to 5 worker. So, here's a couple of strategies you can use to get started on doing the work that matters to you after your shift ends. Some of these locations may vary due to mask wearing regulations. So, one, we have libraries. So there's plenty of resources to use, such as computers, books, study rooms. You can also use the city library as well. Cafes, sure, there's light chatter, but it's also easily accessible to food and drinks. And if you don't want to buy any drinks from there, you can always bring your thermos filled with water from work or home. A workspace. So this is something that I haven't used, but I've also heard of. I've also been in certain events, occasions where you can network with people in workspaces. And so if you're willing to invest some money per month to devote your time outside of home, by all means consider this option because you have this space for you to basically just do work, and you can also meet people over there as well. Hotels. So hotels may also have cafes and certain rooms where you can take your time to start dedicating your time to work that you want to do on your computer, or maybe there's something that you'd like to draw out, write. And in fact, that J.K. Rowling also used hotels and cafes to complete her books and series of Harry Potter. And schools. And this is a big one. Honestly, all you have to do is attend one class, and then you become a student of the university for life, provided the resources they have for you. All right, let's begin. Okay, so certain scenarios where you can incorporate these 5 locations in your lifestyle. So let's say you're getting off your shift. What you can do to plan this out, perhaps on a weekend or maybe before you go over to work, you can look up certain locations that are nearby. And as soon as you get off work, you can start going to those locations, start doing your homework, understand the environment, the people who are in these locations, such as these cafes, these libraries, these workspaces especially, and see if you're comfortable with them, and decide the next day if you should stay here or not. Another situation could be going to these locations before work. Now, I'm not too sure about how you can go on with this kind of lifestyle. I mean, in the mornings especially, if you're needing to do work at night, this is a possible option. People who work at night don't have the opportunity to go to these locations late night, say 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. And so these 5 locations are good to keep in mind. About these workarounds, I like the school option just because you can get tutoring resources. You can get a study room dedicated all for you, and it doesn't have to do anything with big time universities. It could just only have to do with a community college, and that's good to know. Let's say, later on I will come up with other scenarios as well. Maybe for the freelancer, I know the workspace appeals to the freelancer, because sometimes if they're in a location that isn't in their home, they might not have the furniture to do the work that that they place on the surface, so like a desk. And so if you go over to the workspace, I'm sure that they have furnished desks for you to place all your work, and then you'll feel a lot more comfortable with what you see on the table, compared to some Airbnb apartment that just has a dining room table, and then you just place the papers on there, and then you have to hunch over your back and just try to do all that work from there. It's I would say it's not comfortable. Maybe another scenario could be the business person or consultant, someone who's constantly moving around, going to client, constantly taking trips, such as either through car or plane travel. And I'll go into more detail on that on later episodes. Until next time.